Hello, this is Scott Gray giving an update on the Budget R2 J.E.D.I controller. This here is the display from the J.E.D.I controller, giving information about the state of the controller. This here is the J.E.D.I controller board. It's 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. This one's only partially populated. I'm working out an issue with the servos. Anytime I have more than 8 servos, I get some feedback noise. So I'm tracking that down in the power supply. This here is the 5-volt 6-amp power supply, providing 30 watts of power for powering all the servos, solenoids, etc. on 5 volts, which works great with the servos. This here is the vMusic 2 module from Viniculum, which is used for playing sounds and also contains files for playing Java scripts. Over here is the display controller. I went with a single display controller with one microprocessor that's driving all 3 logic displays, the 2 front logic displays as well as the rear logic display. This here is one of the front logic displays. When you first initially power it on, it's in a test mode, which is showing individually lighting each of the LEDs. All the LEDs are being driven by these 2 LED drivers. There's also an LED driver back on the Java, back on the J.E.D.I controller for driving the HPs and the PSIs. This here is an HP that I'm using. The HP consists just of a circuit board, a connector, and a Vishay Telex LED. These are LEDs that are used for driving stoplights. Here you can see the front PSI. They're very bright red and blue LEDs. It's just the circuit board and the connector. I put it inside a medicine bottle with the cap cut off to give me the red and blue display. I'll show a couple of the J.E.D.I commands that we can do. Using a VEX transmitter, I can do a command such as the lay a message, doing an L on the joystick, and it'll flicker the HP. And as you can see, the front logic display is doing a motion as if it's queuing up the video over to the HP. In addition, we can do Cantina, which would be a C on the joystick, just a C. And the front logic display does the audio spectrum display. All the Java Lite commands are implemented, so you can look in the documentation. Also, you can see that the PSI blinks along with the music. That's also true for a song such as Empire, in which the LEDs go back and forth on both front logic displays and as well as the rear logic display, and the PSI blinks along with it as well. We can also do some of the effects, such as doing a short circuit that freezes the display and slowly starts sliding more of the LEDs, or screen, which flashes the front logic display as well as the PSI blinking along, and you probably saw that the HP also on the short circuit flickers. I'm going to put this in line with the front logic display, and you can see that the LEDs are extremely bright. These are only at 1/4 of their maximum power. I'm putting in about 6 milliamps. But it makes a really great display when using the light bright pegs, which is what I'm using for the front logic. These are from the keychain pegs from Light Bright and put in front. The last thing I'll show is that I've implemented the entire Java Lite interface, which includes displaying messages. So if I do an L on the keypad, we'll see that it'll say J.E.D.I display. This is currently where I'm at. What I need to finish up with is integrating the microphone, these circuits right in here, the microphone and the IR interface, the passive infrared PIR interface. This is a board, the rear logic display board. It's not populated yet, but it works exactly the same as the front logic display. I've already debugged the code on the front logic display for the rear logic display. The rear logic display is simply several of the front logic displays stacked over using the same kind of drivers. The drivers I'm using, the LED drivers, constant current drivers, have 16 levels of current for each LED so that you can basically do any display you want at 16 different levels of brightness for each LED. That is currently where I'm at, and I'll give an update later when I get more of it completed.